What's going on? Vincent Rapsardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, comment, and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn the notification bell on so every time I post, you get a notification, you come join in on the conversation. So, subscribers are starting to add up. Really appreciate you guys for doing that. Last few videos, we've talked about Darnay Holmes, we've talked about Alex Bachman, the unfortunate injuries to Xavier McKinney and David Mayo. The Giants had a scrimmage, an inter-squad scrimmage on Friday night. And it's interesting because, you know, when a player performs well, like Lorenzo Carter, he had 3 sacks, and that's great for him, and it looks like he's progressing going into his 3rd NFL season. But you also question, okay, is it the Giants' offensive line that's just that bad, or is it Lorenzo Carter being that good? And that also means the offensive line still performed bad, even if Lorenzo Carter was good. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, a player played well, but that also means that a player on the other side probably didn't play well. So it's kind of an interesting thing to take from a scrimmage. Now, they posted like a highlighted version of the scrimmage on YouTube. You can see that on Giants.com as well. So we just got to see bits and pieces here and there. Daniel Jones apparently did not play very well. He fumbled, kind of made some iffy throws here or there. Look, it's just a scrimmage. So it's not game action. It's also technically the first preseason game. This is the first game that they've played in, kind of game, right? Not a real game, but kind of a game in a long time. So I think you should expect some players to struggle. It's just going to happen. Darnay Holmes, as you can see in this clip here, he played well, did a nice job covering Sterling Shepard and breaking up a Daniel Jones pass. He's a guy that obviously is going to play a big part. He's going to play a big part in the Giants defense this season, as we've talked about many times. DeAndre Baker, not looking good for him playing with the Giants ever again. Sam Beal has opted out. Xavier McKinney has fractured his foot. Darnay Holmes, who has impressed during camp, looks like he played well in this scrimmage as well. He's going to be a big part of their defense this season. Another guy that seemed to play well was Ryan Connelly. Now, last year, Ryan Connelly, he allowed a passer rating of 22 before getting injured and missing the rest of the season. So maybe he can be kind of their pass coverage specialist kind of guy in their linebacking group. Now, I thought that they should have went out and signed Joe Schobert, the former Cleveland Browns linebacker. He was a very good linebacker in coverage last season with Cleveland. They decided to go with the kind of more old school type player in Blake Martinez, a lot of tackles, good run defender, which I thought was interesting. I thought they already had David Mayo, who kind of seems to be that guy. Although David Mayo statistically actually performed fairly well in coverage, a passer rating of around 82. He still is more of an old school, like good run defending, high tackle kind of linebacker. But as you can see with the play that I just showed, Ryan Connelly, it looks like his coverage skills are still there from last year. It looks like he's ready to go, and he's going to be a big part of the Giants defense this season without question. Another couple of players to highlight, Leonard Williams. I know a lot of people get on him for not getting sacks, right? He's not putting together sacks and getting high sack totals. Puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but he had a sack in Friday night's game. Also, Wayne Gallman with 2 touchdowns in Friday night's game. Kind of disappeared last year, but seems to be still a very talented running back and a really good backup option for Saquon Barkley. You have Dion Lewis in that mix as well, so they have good depth at the running back position at the moment. Now look, this is a scrimmage, so there's going to be good things that happen, there's going to be bad things that happen to certain players here and there. You can't take too much from it. Okay, you note it, you're like, okay, that's good or that's bad. Things can be worked on. Hopefully for the players that performed well, they can continue to progress, but it is just a scrimmage. It's really not legitimate live football. So that's just what I saw. Just from the highlights that I saw from Friday night's game and what I heard from reporters, look, it's just a scrimmage. People want to jump to a conclusion, good or bad, right? Oh, Lorenzo Carter, he's all of a sudden Lawrence Taylor, or Daniel Jones still hasn't fixed his fumbling issue. He's going to be bad. It's tough to really take too much from a scrimmage. It's just interesting, right? It's okay, Lorenzo Carter, maybe this is a big year for him. And I've talked about this, I brought this up on Twitter a couple times. Look, some players, they take a little bit longer to develop than others. What you hope is that you see a flash here or there in their first 2 years where, okay, they can be an impact player. They can be a starter, which I think Lorenzo Carter, we talked about Will Hernandez, we talked about B.J. Hill. Their rookie seasons in 2018, they showed that. Now, I talked about this also in a recent video that people weren't really happy with the 2018 draft class last season. They didn't feel like B.J. Hill or Will Hernandez or Lorenzo Carter took the next step. But here's the thing, those guys showed enough in their rookie years where you can say, okay, those are like legitimate starting NFL players. There's something there. And so think about Corey Webster, think about Justin Tuck. I'm not saying Lorenzo Carter is going to become the caliber of player that they were in their careers, but those guys, I mean, their first couple of years, nothing special, right? But then they eventually developed into really, really good football players. Players who were instrumental in multiple championship runs. So be patient with some of these players. I think Lorenzo Carter showed enough during his rookie season where you're like, okay, that guy, I think, can be a legitimate starter if they really needed him to. And so far, it looks like he has taken what seems to be the next step. We'll see. Again, it's just a scrimmage, but a good sign early on for Lorenzo Carter. So that's all I got. Vince Rapsardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, comment, and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn the notification bell on so you get an update every time I post. And follow me on Twitter, @Vince Rapsardi. Thanks again, Vince Rapsardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com.